higher than the number of views for a certain articles. So you see very quickly what's going on. If you drill down, you see that somebody is spamming articles that are related to some topic, and these are all topics all about Swiss National Bank. Apparently somebody picks that up and it's just spammed with the same 500 comments, which is quite interesting. Then finally, coming back to the question of whether you want to place an ad on inside Paradeplatz, let's look at the articles and the number of views that each article gets. So the very first one is a bit of a gossip article. Then there are lots of articles about job losses in the different banks, and then the ones highlighted here, maybe for an advertiser, the more questionable ones when you talk about, in this case, a more xenophobic article, and then the last one here, maybe not a term that you want to be associated with as an advertiser. Okay, these are all tongue-in-cheek examples of what we can do with natural language processing, open source, and pre-trained models. Philip, I will hand over to him. He will talk a little bit about projects that D1 did, and then the technical solution that we used.
Yeah, so thanks, Jürgen. We see that these questions about texts, they are relevant for our clients in lots of cases. They are coming to us with these problems. So here are a couple of examples. Right now we are working on a product solution advisor where we combine Elastic and Neo4j. Last year at SDS actually we presented about using NLP techniques for a non-NLP setting in health insurance claims processing. FINMA documents showcase where we used Azure Cognitive Services. Then a customer feedback analysis, only like a couple of thousand feedbacks, rather short, so it's Twitter-like but much less data. How would you go about? We decided to use Spaces dependency parsing to get the subjects and their the attributes, the dependents. Then a POC of a KYC process support where people can enter, say, a person's name. It's like Googling it or Binging it in that case. Then it gets automatically scraped and NLP'd and put into Elasticsearch. So this is kind of the things that we have been done in the last couple of years. You see, it's emerging. People, lots of clients see the value of the textual data. There should be some value, but it's difficult to harness it. So, oops.
That's rock solid.
Yeah, okay. So we hope that these texts give you also the lift of your data up to where you can pick it up. So basically, it's always like the first one day, usually you spend in setting up these NLP things. I mean, it has, so the standard methods in NLP are much better now, I would say. Space is really cool in that respect. But still, I think for not NLP data scientists, it's still, they are afraid to use those techniques. And even for the people who know it, it takes still a couple of minutes or hours to set it up. That's one thing. Another thing is if you want to explore these textual data, it's always like difficult. So you have your IPython notebook and you see some single text, and it's a little bit really rough to work with that. And all the standard visualization tools don't really work for that. The only one that we really think is really nice is this Kibana thing. So, yeah, we thought, let's put everything together and make it in such a way that maybe also not NLP data scientists can start using these things to explore their textual data. So we are proud to announce a package. The name is not yet decided finally. Right now we call it NLP pipeline. It's an open source toolbox. Basically, you have your texts, your documents, say in a pandas data frame. Data scientists know pandas usually. You funnel it through our thing, where lots of less and more cool things can happen with it. And in the end, it drops into Elasticsearch in Kibana. So I want to show you how it is done for a simple case. I don't know, in the back I guess it's really difficult to see that. So if you want to come in front now, you can, or you will see it maybe later. So basically you start importing pandas and NLP pipeline. Then maybe you don't want to install Elasticsearch on your laptop, so you can start it on Docker just with this one line there, if you have Docker installed. Then you need to get your data. We cannot give you your data out of the box. You need still to provide that, but so in this case I scraped the abstracts of the Neural Information Processing Systems conference, the famous NIPS conference. It's now being renamed because of some naming issues with, if you Google NIPS, it can be a little bit difficult. So these are 8,000, a little bit over 8,000 abstracts. They have, okay, I called it the message, the abstract. There's a title, these are textual data, basically. You have author, which is a list of texts. You have a year, which is a number. I already converted it into a date there. So that's basically, you still need to a little bit prepare your data. And you can then work on preparing it more. Once you have the data in, say, this pandas data frame, now comes our pipeline. So you set it up. First you say, okay, message and title are actually text columns. And the others then, the year column is now a date column that can help later in Kibana. Now, one of the most powerful and simplest things you can do with textual data to get some entity recognition is if you can find a regular expression. So don't underestimate regular expressions. For instance, here I'm just looking at strings between dollars, because you have lots of LaTeX messages in those, or LaTeX expressions in those texts. And it will put it out into a math column. And just this, because I'm doing a regex tag, it will say, okay, this math column is now a tag column. It's not full text anymore. You don't want to search in that maybe. So it's for things like the real numbers or stuff like that. Okay, then let's do some sentiment. We used Vader sentiment, so the TripAdvisor, Jürgen just showed that the sentiment analysis there was Vader sentiment based on a dictionary. Again, use it on the message column and put it out into a sentiment column. Now the pipeline knows the sentiment is a number. Okay, well enough. And then we like Spacey, so let's put what we do usually with Spacey, just do it on those two columns. If you know Spacey, you might do things differently. What it does now, it's just extracting the entities using Spacey's named entity recognition, and it extracts the subjects for all and other things. Okay, so you set it up like this, easy enough if you take the README. Then the magic happens. So first, there is this setup elastic. So if you have worked with elastic, you might know that actually it doesn't need a default configuration, but if you don't give it a default configuration, it won't do as you want it to do. So this helps give you a decent start for your elastic thing. And then, okay, let's process this pipeline here with the top 1000 abstracts and write it to elastic. Done. In 11 seconds. Okay. So this is first thing. I hope you see that this might be something worth checking out once we publish it, because it might help you get inside of your data. Now I talked about Kibana a lot, so maybe you don't know, in the Elastic Stack, Kibana is the visualization part. And we really like this Kibana thing, because you can then start exploring your data in more hands-on way, and you don't need to just put out print out the texts you have single by single. You can work much faster, but it's a little bit cumbersome to get it to get on track there again. So we have one more thing. We have an automated Kibana dashboard generation. basically, okay, you say set up Kibana. It will first set up some things the Kibana needs, and then for each column that you have, it will generate a visual. Right now it's a standard visual, you can then start tweaking it. So year is a date column, it will put out a histogram. Math is a tag column, it will put out a bar plot. Message is a textual column, it will put out the word cloud. And in the end, it all puts it into one big dashboard. And actually, each of these lines, if you do it yourself in Kibana, is like, I don't know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes clicking around. So we think that this is really nice, and actually Jürgen was using just for these two showcases that we had this tool, and I hope that he enjoyed it. So yeah, to give you the summary, we see that NLP is not yet not entirely data science mainstream. It's still a little bit specialized because the NLP tech stack used to be really complicated. It's better now, but still it's somehow around there. And the exploring of this textual data is really hard. And I hope we convinced you that this yet to really have a good name package will help you with this, with these things. Yeah, I hope we can have the final name and links in the final slides when we present them. And so, yeah, thank you a lot.
Thank you.